Good morning, fire signs. Doing an element read. This is David, our Warriors of Light Astro-Tarot. And this is a full moon in Sagittarius read for all the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sag. Go real quick over some of the astrology. It's This is I know the full moon's in Sag at 23 degrees. Of course, you have this full moon energy, and this is with Sagittarius, that energy over there, it's opening things up. I'm a Sag, and it's in the summer. It comes in the early summer. This is a kind of beautiful full moon. It's light, fire energy, Sag energy. It's usually light. It's friendly. It's unassuming. This is a kind of full moon where you want to get out in a drum circle on the beach, or get in the backyard and light the fire pit up and sit around with your lover, with your friends, and get outside. And this is all about like freedom and breakthroughs too, because if you're either Leo or Sag, you're trining this energy that's in Aries. And I think it's all about the Charon wound right now, because on this full moon, you got Mars on the Charon wound. And I'm seeing that here in this reading for you guys. I did a separate Sag read Sunday. So if you are Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, try to check that out. It goes probably a little deeper than this. But I'm seeing similar themes for all fire signs. And so, there's obviously other things going on. If your Sag, Neptune is squaring, and really that's kind of in some kind of energy with Mercury now, considering Mercury is at 0 degrees. A lot of the stuff that's coming in is now with the Sag, that's that arrow being launched as Mercury goes back to 0, kind of snapping out of that fixed energy. Still in shadow, but now it's like just boom, and maybe a release of energy, particularly thoughts, anything that's been bottled up. That's another thing that's coming. Anything's been bottled up, this should be a big release. It's just normally every year, ever since I've been to astrology, more you go into astrology, like the longer the years get, to me, it's like you start to realize just how much we're really doing. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We're dreaming, or eating, or walking and playing, or fucking, or fighting, or working. It's like we're doing so much more than what we're doing. So I think for fire signs, it's basically juicy, good energy. Of course, it all depends on your chart and how things are going. But if for anyone, then for Aries, because we're going to have the energy of conjunct at 16 degrees, kind of right in the middle of Aries. So I think it's hitting everybody because it's right in the middle. Of course, if you're within like a 3 to 5 degree orb of that somewhere, either trining it or conjuncting it, if you're in Aries, it's going to have more impact. You do have Jupiter there at 5 degrees too, but again, now I think for Aries, Jupiter's nothing but good there. Mars pretty good too, because that's your boy, your Aries, and it's good for Leo. It's good for Sag, because anything in any transits in Aries, it's usually good. It's harmonious energy. And for us as a Sag, I say us, or for Leo, we're kind of the same situation. We're really sister signs, really brother signs, being that it's, fire is masculine, divine masculine energy, but Jupiter's the cavalier for Sag, but it's also the great benefic, so it's bringing generally, good energy by transit. It can blow things up, sometimes in a bad way, with gambling addictions or sex addictions, but generally speaking, is why it's called the great benefic. It's going to bring positive things. It's at 5 Aries, and it really isn't stationing for retrograde just yet, so it's still moving. It should be some powerful. Well, I say this is kind of like not really a breakthrough, like a breakout energy, a release. That's what I want to say. This is like a releasing that arrow, whoosh, letting it go, that kind of thing, guys. So to get to this reading, the tarot part, this kind of our energy coming in here with the Six of Cups. And, I get the feeling like you're watching this reading, you're probably a spiritual person. You're watching tarot reading, not much of a stretch. But that's kind of what I get. It's kind of soul energy. And this is being fairly in a fairly peaceful place. I mean, I kind of feel that way. You might could hear it in my voice. That's for real. It's been tough. I got some monster dreams, but like this energy's been good for me. This very energy we're dealing with right now. It's finally things turning around, opening up. I think it's going to be good. Kind of the summer's going to be good. The fall's going to be a mother. I think it's going to be a cluster. But right now, I say it's kind of like get it while the getting's good. If you need to make moves, if you need to make power moves, if you need to change where you live, change your job, change your relationship, change your situation, change your life, now. Do it now, because by the time the fall comes, I think it's just going to be kind of a clusterfuck, honestly. Those kind of changes then are going to be, I think, more incoherent and troubled, And right now, you might have like a window of opportunity for the next few months during the summer months, and particularly right now. That's kind of think what this full moon is speaking to get things done. Especially if you're feeling this, leave me a message. Let me know. And that's kind of you're kind of relating to that. And I'm in this. It's emotionally. Six of Cups is really. I don't think this has to do with like soulmates and stuff. It's just being connected emotionally and going back. Maybe it's about this retrograde. We're still in the shadow retrograde, even though it's direct, even though it's in Gemini now. It's like popping out. We really should be starting to hum, because again, that's the release. It's like even the mind is now out of that fixed Taurus, and now we're just gonna start humming along. But I think we're coming to with all of it from a pretty good emotionally balanced, the sixes is balanced kind of energy here that's kind of soul connected. I feel like soul connected. Now this is the challenge position, the Ten of Wands. It's pretty clear, like, gotta let go. That's why I said, like, this is a good time, like, if you need to change something. This is like, we've carried some burden enough, This is fire. Ones are always actions. So it's like doing too much, or being done with doing what we've been doing, being done with doing the same thing, and being ready to release ourselves. Told you it's all about release, move into this kind of new cycle. And now this is the challenge position. I mean, dig that. Yeah, it's Capricorn. So you got Saturn, that's retrograde at 25 Aquarius, and so that's sextile for Sag. I know for me, so that's another good thing. A lot of what Saturn's doing this time, I think for us and even Leos and Aries, it's this is another good reason to release and go for it and release these burdens, make any change we have to make, but do it in a way that is Saturnine, that's about structure and integrity and building, and focused on creating some kind of foundation, something solid, something for the future. Because what this is like, this is not our challenge. This is our challenge, but this is advice from Spirit. And I think that this release, like, releases any of this shadow stuff that's still lingering on, And I kind of think more this speaks to, you got Pluto in Capricorn. Here's Pluto card. So it speaks Saturn and Pluto. But I think right here in terms of advice from Spirit, it's looking at that Saturn. Looking at, like, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, okay? That's Saturn, whatever. Like, this is not running away energy when I say release. This is like having a plan, being in a good place, kind of emotionally, and being ready to kind of let this stuff go, and having a solid plan, because this is advice, so it's not we're not going to be drunk when we do this, or stoned. We're going to be clear. We're going to be solid when we do it. We're going to have a plan. We're doing it for, obviously, with integrity. That's goes without saying. That's what Saturn wants. It wants us to, it's like Saturn's always the daddy who's an ex-drill sergeant and probably ain't going to say I love you, but he does, and he's going to kick your ass to make you strong and solid. Want to make sure you have a plan, and he wants to make sure that you survive the war. He doesn't want you to come home in a body bag. Is what Saturn's all about. And so, take that as an analogy. And then Judgment, that's got to be Pluto, because coming next to the Devil card. There's Pluto in retrograde at 26 still, 28 Capricorn. It's only going to 26, so that energy is, this is all about, it's opposite my natal moon, so it depends on how it's hitting you. But if that's coming in here, then all of this is really going to involve ultimately like a transformation. When we release this burden from this emotional place of being, calm and emotionally grounded, and it kind of is coming from a place too, like wisdom and maturity. And we're making sure that we're doing it with integrity. We're doing it clear-headed. We have a plan. Saturn is having a plan. And what's going to come out of it, because now this is the outcome, is we're going to have transformation. And Judgment is about being called up. If you're a spiritual person that's coming in here, in whatever way it means for you, it's usually with Judgment, this is the stuff that we kind of don't want to do. Like, we know we need to meditate. We've known it for a long time, and now it's really being called up and doing it. We know it could be like losing weight. We know we need to advance our skills. I mean, it's like astrology, maybe that relation. I know I got to study and learn this certain aspect I've been putting off for whatever reason, and because you're being called up to a higher calling. So this is a very spiritual energy. I think like with the Six of Cups, it's coming in with the spiritual energy. It's showing to this energy of Mars on the Charon asteroid, which is the punch-through energy. That's the release. And Mars is the warrior, and it's punching into that Charon and integrating it and overcoming it. But it's like a difficult impact. 10 of Wands, a devil, that's difficult energy. There's no getting around it. There's something that's going to be punched through, like with that Mars to Charon energy. But all of us, being in this fire energy, I think are going to be in a pretty good position to have a positive outcome. And when it's all said and done, we're going to be in some kind of new alignment with really kind of our soul's purpose with Judgment. We're going to heed the call of Judgment, and we're going to do what it is we need to do. It's going to better align us with our soul's purpose in life, guys. So let me know what you think of that. I do appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, share. Doing pretty good, finally. We hit the 1,000 thing. We're going on. And I have a new channel, My Mexican Expat Life. Hashtag My Mexican Expat Life. If you have any interest in moving overseas, or you know anyone, please share it. My first video up there is just a tour of the casa, and you meet my girlfriend here in Cancun, Mexico. If you have any interest, like share that one. Just started that last week, so because I've only got this one up to 1,000, I feel like my energy's coming back, and it's not going to have anything really much to do with tarot or astrology, but astrology always comes in for me, one way or another. But that's really for people that have an interest maybe in moving overseas or moving to Mexico. But love you guys. Thank you.